Hey there guys, and thank you for coming back to my music channel where I review different music. And for today's review, I spoke about it on the first video I did on that channel about the reviews, and this is Slipknot. Now this CD means a real lot to me. It has a lot of sentimental value, and I would highly rank this in like one of my top 10 CDs that I like to listen to. And I just, the reason why I like this music, though, is because I have to give a very special shout out to my, one of my friends. His name is Mike Candela on YouTube. Shouts out to him, especially for this video, because this video is going to be about the coolest experience I've ever had, and it involves Slipknot. Okay, so the way the story starts off with is, I drive to work in the morning. So on the radio, I'm driving my he's basically like a family member, basically like my brother-in-law. I'm driving him into work. That's T-Dog, by the way. I'm driving him into work. And I was just like, man, I would love to go listen to that Marilyn Manson Slipknot show. I'm a huge Marilyn Manson fan. I don't have any of his material, though. Hard copies. I only have digital music of him. I would love to pick up. My favorite CD of him, possibly in the future, would be Mechanical Animals. I love Marilyn Manson's music. I just think he's just, as an artist and as a person, he's absolutely, like, he is one of a kind. But back to the story. So I was driving in, and whatever, I was like, yo, man, if I win these tickets, would you go? And he was just like, I don't know, man. And I was like, bro, like, you have to go. Like, I know he likes Manson too. So I was just like, all right, whatever. So as I'm driving into work, and I remember it like it was like literally like yesterday, but as I was driving into work, I don't really use my phone while I drive. I don't know what possessed me to use my phone while I drive, but I won these tickets from The Shark. Like, that's the local radio station out here. 94.3 The Shark. Shout out to you guys. They put out, like, literally, they put out all of the good music, like, from, like, the 90s that, like, the radio stations out here, like, you have, like, your pop music, you have your rap music, and, like, all the music really sucks that comes out today, so, like, whatever. So, like, they did that, and I was just like, all right, that was legit. So after they did that, you know, I was listening to The Shark going into my job, and I was crossing over some train tracks, and, like, I looked to make sure there wasn't a train going one way, and while I looked, I went and I scooped up my phone, and then I looked back the other way, and then after you get over these train tracks, you literally, it's like you have to make a sharp right. It's like literally like you get over these tracks, and it's like 25 feet later, you make a right turn to get to my job. So I was like, all right, whatever. So as I'm on the road, I'm like, oh, what was that number for the Shark? I don't even remember the number, but whatever reason, I must have remembered it because I got, like, pens all over my dashboard. Like, I am literally, like, set up for, like, I got a clipboard underneath the table that has all the vape stuff. But, so I was doing that, and whatever. So I call in, and I've never called a radio station in before. So, like, I called the radio station in, and the guy picked up, and he was just like, hello, who is this? And I was like, oh, this is John. And, like, you know, I gave him my name, my full name, and all of that. And he was like, oh, congratulations, you've won the tickets to go see Slipknot and Marilyn Manson at Jones Beach. I was like, wait, what? Seriously, it was like the coolest experience ever. I felt like I was in the movie with Brandon Fraser and Steve Buscemi and Adam Sandler. They take over the radio station. Like, I felt like I was like, yeah, I get to go to the radio station now and see what it's all about and all this other shit and all this other stuff. You know, I don't mean to curse, but so yeah, so okay, so I get to my job now. I know I've won these tickets. I called up T-Dog, and I was like, bro, I won these tickets. And he was like, what? And I was like, bro, I won these tickets. Yo, I was so lit. Like, you have no idea. Like, it was just absolutely insane. Truly an insane feeling. So I was like, all right, whatever. So I go into my job, and I was like, yo, I need to take a personal day. And they were just like, what? You just got here. Like, what do you mean take a personal day? I was like, bro, like, I won tickets. I gotta leave. And they're like, we'll give you a half a day. All right, whatever. So I take it, and the day that this was I want to say it was like July 6th, 2016. It wasn't last year. It had to have been 2 years ago. No, maybe it was 3 years ago. Maybe it was 2015. I don't even remember. But it was one of those. It was one of those days. But I do remember it was July 6th because it was right after 4th of July, and I was like, oh man, I don't know how the hell this is gonna happen. I'm gonna go to a concert now with no money. Like, who does this shit? So, whatever. Anyway, I get the half day. I'm driving to the radio station, and they're playing the song Before I Forget. Now, like, I was like, wait a minute, this sounds like this is Slipknot. And, like, then they started playing Marilyn Manson, and I was, like, getting pumped up while I was going to the radio station. And, like, anyway, so I get to this radio station, and it's on top of, like, a preschool in a strip mall next to an airport. I was like, okay, cool place to have a radio station. You can't find the place because there is no, like, signs. It's, like, in an office building upstairs, like... It's literally on top of all of the other little stores in the strip mall. So if you're looking to find out where the shark is, like, you literally have to go into, like, these big-ass office doors and then go up a whole bunch of stairs. And, like, it's literally, like, you need a code to go anywhere after that. Like, you have to, like, be welcomed into the building. It's not, like, an easy... Like, you can't just, like, push a button and, like, it calls somebody. Like, it literally has to be, like... truly a word-of-mouth place to work, or however it works. I have no idea. But anyway, I get these tickets, I get in. They checked my ID to make sure I was who I was, and they asked for my social security number because any prizes you win from a radio station in New York, up to $600, you have to make it goes on your taxes. So if you win something and it's under $600, it doesn't matter. But if it's over $600, they're going to tax the shit out of you and you're going to pay for it. So I was like, okay, well, that's cool. This is like a legal winning prize. I was like, all right, legit. So whatever. I get home, hanging out because now I got, what am I doing? I'm trying to wait for T-Dog to get off of work so that way we can go to the show. And, like, it was getting closer and closer to that, like, time for that show. And, like, I was talking to my fiance and I was like, Meg, I really want T-Dog to go with me. Like, I know he loves it. Like, I really want him to go with me. And, like, all right, T-Dog finally gets home, and he was just like, bro, like, this is the first time in a while I've gotten home on time. Like, I'm really, like, I want to go, like, and, like, he didn't want to go, and I was just like, okay, so now who wants to go with me? And Meg was like, yo, you should hit up Mike. Mike might want to go. And I was just like... I don't know if Mike likes Slipknot like that, bro. Like, he is, like, the biggest fan. He knows all the words to all of their music, everything. Like, Mike Candela was truly, like, I couldn't believe it. So, like, we're hitting up through Snapchat. We're talking through Snapchat, and, like, I was like, all right, when you get out of work, I'll be by your house, like, 15 minutes after. I'll scoop you up, and we'll go. All right, so that's what happens. Okay, so I pick him up. We get to the show. We get to the show, like, 2 hours before it starts, whatever. But he was like, nah, like... And, we could hang out at Jones Beach, whatever, shoot the shit, talk, whatever. And, and we had best parking. Like, literally, we were there before, like, parking got all screwed up. Like, it was a fun time. It really was a good time. So we get there, and we go to, like, the concession stand. This was Nikon Jones Beach, when Nikon owned Jones Beach. We get to the concession stand, and... when we get there, like, we found out, like, yeah, there's no alcohol being served in the concert. We were like, what? Like, not that I had money to drink, but, like, I didn't want to, like, take away from that or whatever it was. And, like, he was asking me, like, he really was, like, he was appreciative. Like, he was happy that I asked him to go. And, like, I really respect that because he was grateful for it. And you don't see people expressing gratitude like that in today's world. So, like, if you really want to talk to, like, a really down-to-earth person, like, and you see that side of him, like, he's a really cool guy. And we went to a show, and, like, it was really intense. Like, okay, so, like, he was asking if I wanted some food, and I was like, nah, man, you don't gotta get me anything. Like, I can't wait to see Manson. Like, I was so super happy to see, like, I was gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna see Marilyn Manson, man. Like, I wanted to see how close we were sitting or how far away we were sitting, because these were free tickets. So, like, I really didn't know if it was a good seat or it was a bad seat. But, so we get there, and once we get inside, like, before we get inside, there's always people in the parking lot of a Jones Beach show, or now I think it's Norwell Stadium or whatever, but there's always somebody at that show who has, like, whoever's playing, they have, like, their t-shirts, and they're bootleg t-shirts. I'm telling you, they're bootleg t-shirts, but these t-shirts will have a little bit extra on them. Like, you can go into the venue and buy a shirt that looks very similar to the one that you have, that you buy from the outside, and their prices outside the stadium are 100% cheaper than what you pay inside the stadium. So I would highly recommend. I realize that's a hustle, and you're not doing the right thing because they're not authentic merch, and I'm not trying to advertise for you to buy not authentic merch. You do what you want to do. It's your money. You worked for it, clearly. Unless you get your money from robbing and stealing, in which case, please don't subscribe to my channel, because I don't want to be associated with anything like that. But if you are, like, you know, like, if you're trying to get a hustle, like, people always say, look, there's, you know, don't just sit on your butt and do nothing. Like, get out and do something. Like, work for what you want. So, like, I approve of what they're doing, and they're selling a product that's good, if not better, than what's inside the stadium. So, like, I was like, look, Mike, if you want to get me anything, get me one of those shirts. That's the only thing that I want, and you have, because that's, like, nice to have when you go to a show, to have that shirt that shows all their tour dates, and you know which one you went to because it's in your area, or you drove 6 hours to go see a show. Like, I've never driven 6 hours to go see a show. Trust me. I'm a juggalo, but I've never been to a gathering, and that'll probably never happen, because unless they're going to be doing shows when I'm in retirement, I'm never going to have the time to fucking take a week off. First off, you got to take 3 days to leave from New York to go into the middle of the country. Then you got to sit down, figure out what the hell you're doing once you get there. And it's a party that goes on for like 5 days. It's like the Electric Forest or some shit like that. Like, I have no time for that. Not at this day and age. And when I'm probably 70 to retire, I'm not going to have an interest. So it doesn't even matter to me at that point. So, but we're inside now. He got me a shirt. I appreciate it. And he got his shirt. I have not worn that shirt ever. That shirt is perfectly fine. I wore it the day that we went to that show. Like, I put it over what I was wearing. But, like, I have never worn that shirt ever again. Like, it got washed once, and then it got folded up, and it sits perfectly folded up in my dresser drawer. Like, that shirt, like, that's, like, treasured memories. And, so, we get inside. You first go through, they validate the ticket, that you have a ticket. You get through one checkpoint. Then you go through another checkpoint where they actually, like, then take the ticket. It's like some crazy shit. Like, first you go through a pat down, then you go through an area where after you get pat down and all your friends get pat down, now you guys can walk to go and redeem your tickets. So, like, it's a very safe place. Like, you feel safe inside. All right, so we get inside, and we're inside like the stadium, and it's loud. Like, there's people that are singing, and, like, there's already, the first set is already on. So, like, I was like, I don't really know who these people are. Do you know who these people are? And Mike was like, nah, I really know who these people are. I was like, all right, whatever. Let's go and try to find out where we're sitting. And he was like, he wanted to have a beer inside. Now, we didn't know prior to getting inside that there was no alcohol being served. So we get inside, and he, you know, like, all right, so we find out where we're sitting. Literally, the free seats were for, like, the bleacher of the bleachers. And, like, we're, like, talking to people, this, that, and the third, and, like, we're trying to find out where we're going. And somebody says, oh, those are all the way up there. But, like, look, I know 2 people that aren't going to come here, so I'll give me those tickets, and I'll give you these tickets. And so we traded instantly. We were like, bro, instead of going up there, yeah, hell yeah. So, like, we had, like, a nice little nook area. And he was talking about how he said that he knew somebody that could get him into the pit. And I was like, bro, like, I don't want to go into the pit. I'm just happy to be here. But if you want to do that, you go and you do that. Because, like, I'll wait for you in the parking lot. I drove there. So, like, I'm not going without him. Like, that's rude if you're just going to be like, well, if you go and do that, well, I'm going to leave without you. So, like, we tried to get into the pit. It didn't work out. But sitting from where I was sitting, like, we were sitting on, like, a balcony. So it was like you could see the show completely down. Like, it was like you could see the crowd movement and all of that. And, like, so we get to this show, and we finally sit down. Marilyn Manson goes on. And let me tell you, I will get Mechanical Animals to review it on this channel to tell you guys what Marilyn Manson did on this show. But because this is the Slipknot CD, whatever. So Marilyn Manson performs. It takes about an hour and 10 minutes for his set, and then he gets off the stage. It took Slipknot 40 minutes to set up, and then we get into, Slipknot starts playing and all that. And, like, I really didn't know all the words of the Slipknot songs. Like, I know, like, the beats. Like, I know, like, Duality. I know, like, Sickness, Eyeless. Like, the whole first CD, I owned that CD. And I've only heard, like, 2 or 3 of their songs other than that first CD. Like, Duality, Pulse of the Maggots, like, those, like certain songs, I always, like, pick and choose. It's like System of a Down. I really don't listen to System of a Down, but Meg does more. Although I do admire the work that those artists produce. So, whatever. So, they get on and they start performing, and I'm just like, bro, like, I hope they play, like, one of the songs that I know. So, like, they played a lot of their newer songs that they know, like, that they play, and it was just like, I heard a lot of music that, and they're good artists to watch, and, like, having him there with me, it made it that much more fun because he really appreciates their music. And, like, at that time, I didn't really listen to their music like that, so I didn't really appreciate it the same way that he has. And these guys put on a show, like, if you don't ever see any other band and someone offers to take you to a Slipknot show, go. It is the cool, those guys perform, like, they boogie their butts off on that stage, and it is truly just an experience like no other. Like, you truly will have a good time with that. So after, they're doing their set and all of that, and he didn't get into the pit. I didn't go with him. Like, it was like none of that. But, like, they gotta, like, I know why alcohol wasn't served there. Like, this crowd, Slipknot's crowd, is like, if you're a small spot, you're not gonna want to have a bunch of rowdy hooligans drinking. Especially, getting out of that parking lot was insane. It was insane. But it was a good time. But now let's start talking about this CD. My review of this would be a 10 out of 10. They did do an encore set, and it was just a whole lot of fun. But this CD, like, I bought this after the fact. The songs that I like on this one, there is 14 tracks on this CD. Meg likes The Blister Exists. I hear it all the time because when I put the CD in, I have to listen to it because she likes it. I think it's very repetitive over and over and over again, but it's also the second track, so it should be. It gets you basically prepared for what the rest of the CD is about. 3-0, I normally skip over this track because I feel like I just skip it. I really don't even listen to it. Like, I'm not trying to be opinionated about their music. I know all their music does, though, have a voice. It's just, I'm not ready yet to commit to that. Duality I listen to. Opium of the People I listen to. Duality is just a hard-hitting song, and from there I pretty much let the whole CD play out because as far as, like, instruments go, the lyrics are top-notch. Like, some of the shit that they come up with to say for, like, that flow over the instruments is just unbelievable. Like, and it just flows together. Like, he hits the melody and he harmonizes with the beat, and it is perfect. Like, he does, like, there's no doubt in my mind why they've gone on to make like 8 or 9 records because their music is just that good. Circle, I listened to probably about maybe half of that before I changed to the next track. Then I listened to Welcome for about maybe 2 minutes. Vermilion I enjoy, but I like Vermilion Part 2 more, which comes on a little bit later. So from Vermilion, I pretty much listen to more of the CD. I won't, like, skip through it, like, after I listen to part of it. It just, to me, it sounds like it's like a love song, in all honesty. Like, their take on what a love song would be, like a modern-day love song. it hits me like a ton of bricks sometimes, because sometimes women don't see exactly how magnificent they really are. And even if you're a good person and you do try to tell them that, sometimes they just still don't listen. And it kills people sometimes. But, like, that's just, you know... And it's a darker part of that song, though, where he's just talking about he's going to take her home forever. So he's probably talking about killing the girl. But however you take that, take on those lyrics, it's just, I feel like, you know what? If you got a good one, you got to do whatever you got to do to keep it, like, truly. Then after that, you got the Pulse of the Maggots, which is the song where it's like they're talking about like all of their fans. Like if you listen to ICP, you're a juggalo. Like they're fans of the Maggots, and like I've heard of tales where like the Maggots and the juggalos don't get along, but from what I can tell, everybody lately is just listening to the same old music. So whether or not you don't like one or the other, and you think it's just a toss up, like I had, tossing it up there, but. So that's a good song. I like that song. It's got a good beat. I like to play Call of Duty to it if I played Call of Duty. I really haven't played any video games. I play like a Brick Breaker game. If you guys want a review of that, I'll throw a review up on this channel and see if that sticks. But before I forget, that was the song that I was playing as I was driving to the show. Like it truly was like such an awesome time. Like I'll never forget that time. Like it was just such a good time, me and Mike. Then you got Vermilion Part 2. That's the Vermilion that I like because it's a lot slower than the first one. Basically Part 1 and Part 2, basically it's like a remix to the first song. Like if you really want to get into it, but you don't call a remix in rock a remix. Like that's, you can't do that. That's a rap thing. The Nameless, like it's another like slower song, and then like after it picks up. Like the whole rest of the CD after that is pretty good. Like I have no complaints. So in all, this CD, I like this CD a lot. Slipknot Volume 3, the Subliminal Verses. I would definitely recommend to check it out. If you can go to a Best Buy and check it out. I got it from Best Buy for $7.99. Totally worth it. $8 investment. And I like it. I love this CD. This is like my favorite CD. Like I would say I listen to this CD probably once a month. Like once a month. More like once a week. Like it's in right now, but I do intend to monetize this channel when it does become bigger. So I'm not going to play any of the music from what I'm reviewing on it, because as much as I thought about that, I really don't want that. If you can handle me for half an hour talking about Slipknot, then damn it, I deserve those fucking 5 cents. That's how I feel about it. But it's just, this CD is a really good CD, and I would highly recommend it. Anybody to check it out, even if you don't listen to rock or rap or anything like that. But the next part of this, where we go through this CD thing that I've been doing, we get to decide what our next CD is going to be on. So I'm going to go over Tyler, the Creator. The CD is called Wolf, and I got this CD from FYE. I think it's a pretty interesting album artwork that he has on it, but we're going to get into that on review number 4. As I said, I will always do a teaser trailer with this. I feel like I can't do that with E-Juice, but with this, I can get away with it. So, now, do me a solid with this video. Give me a thumbs up. If you enjoy this CD, please make sure you comment in the comment box below. I will have a link to Mike Candela's video, his channel, in the description box below. Give me some time to get on that. I'm still trying to figure out how to work my vape page, because YouTube updated and nothing works anymore, so I got to figure out how to do that and link things again. But make sure you guys subscribe in the corners, ring the bell. I don't know when I'm going to put another video up on this channel. Like I said, it's a lot of work keeping up the vape channel up. But I do enjoy putting these videos together for you guys, because even if there's only 5 of you that are subscribed or 2 of you that are subscribed, either way, I know that somewhere out there somebody might look at my review and they might enjoy it and they might relate. So that's the point of this, other than to share good music and what I feel about it. So this CD, like I said, I even skipped through tracks and I would say that this is a 10 out of 10. Like, this CD flows together from start to finish. If you listen to the whole CD like that, when the CD is in the CD player, Meg will say to it that she hears probably the same song 4 or 5 times, and that's because I'll just let the CD play, because we'll talk a little bit, we'll stop talking, I'll hear the music, I'll listen to a song or two for, you know, a good half an hour or so, then we'll start talking again and rejoin the, you know, like, it's a lot of fun. I love music, and if you love music too, subscribe to this channel. You would be doing me a really big solid, because I am trying to see how we can intertwine the two together. As I'm listening to the newer music, if you have any recommendations, please don't hesitate. Let me know in the comment box below. I'm interested in all types of music. It does not matter to me, and if it's music and I can get a CD of it, I will do a review on it, because music is universal and everybody hears music differently, and that's the truth of that. As always, my name is Johnny5. This has been the review for Slipknot Volume 3, the Subliminal Verses. Here is the inside album artwork. If there is any CDs by them that you want me to check out and get, I have no problem showing it to you guys, or listening to it and giving it the most honest review I can give it, because in all honesty, that is what everybody wants. They want to know what your feelings are on any particular topic. And don't let these guys fool you with their scary masks. I think these guys probably be some of the nicer people that you'll ever meet. I've looked at Slipknot, I've looked at their, each one is different, like, say, like an emoji that you use or whatever, but I definitely think these guys would be a cool group of people to shoot a game of pool with. So, 10 out of 10, one of my top 10. I wouldn't know exactly where to put it, but so far this has been review number 3. Thank you guys for chilling with me, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Woo! Later, taters!